So, hi Claire, how are you today? Welcome to Sci-Tech Swiss.
Hi, Karina. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for inviting me to be here.
Yeah, it's an honor actually. So, where are you joining us from?
I'm in New York, which is where I'm based. We travel a lot for the different fashion weeks, but New York City is home.
All right then. And how's the weather like there?
Nice. It is spring. So the last couple of days, it's really turned a corner. The flowers are coming out and everyone comes out on the street, so it's lovely.
Amazing. So, maybe you'll have some new inspiration for the upcoming collection, right?
Well, yeah, so I don't actually create the collections, but curating the other designers' collections, yes. So always, spring makes you feel like it's time for change. And so I start thinking about how we're going to do things differently for the next event.
Definitely. I think that everything is blooming. It's a kind of blooming season, maybe also blooming
Yes.
new ideas. So, Claire, tell us more. You're the founder of the Digital Fashion Week New York. Obviously you have a lot of experience, also on the digital side, but at the same time blending it, with the fashion industry. And that's really fascinating, creating this kind of 3D world. And my question will be, how does it really differ from, the traditional fashion weeks?
Right. So Digital Fashion Week is actually about the entire digitalization of fashion. It's not just about digital assets as wearables, but we look at everything from concept to consumer and every touch point that technology has on fashion. So that sounds super unsexy, but what we look at is we work under three pillars of thought leadership, innovation, and creativity. So we have talks where we do deep dives into what technology can do for fashion, how it can make your processes faster, easier, better, more fabulous as well in many ways. We have exhibits, so we can get to try and test different technologies. It's a really good opportunity to bring very, very new startups onto the stage and get people to engage with them. So, first of all, the audience can have a first taste of what is to come. And it's a really good opportunity for these startups as well to connect with audiences, sometimes new audiences, and share their ideas. And then, of course, we have the runway. So the runway varies every season and, in fact, every city as well. So working with different partners to have phygital fashion on the runway. I don't know how you feel about the word phygital. It makes some people just cringe. It used to make me cringe, but now I've just embraced it. And I think it really explains where we are at the moment in the process. It's about the layering of digital and physical assets, and we let each brand tell their own brand vision, what they want to show, how they're working with digital assets and what it means to them and where they're going with it.
Also, in terms of trends, such as, gamification, could you tell us more about how you're feeling about these, gamification strategies or other upcoming trends?
Yeah, so I think gaming is a really, really exciting place for designers. Looking at either games as the metaverse in the case of Sandbox, or extended reality in the case of games that are not requiring a wallet to enter. So I think there's a couple of ways, at least two ways of looking at this. I'm going to simplify it to two ways. The first is from a sustainability and an efficiency point of view, is digital first. So if designers can test out their ideas in the metaverse, in gaming environments, they can see how people are adopting their fashion in there, how they react and connect to their collection. And then when they can assess, what trends are, they can decide whether or not to make these designs. Perhaps they can even crowdsource opinions about them. So I think that is a really huge and really interesting conversation around sustainability. Also, we can look at creating merchandise. So when we know that our collection is really popular in the metaverse, in gaming, then perhaps we can actually only create just some physical accessories around that can connect us back to gaming, or can offer our customers new opportunities, new assets as well, that then they can buy. So very much sort of a circular experience that designers can have with engaging with their audience. And the flip side of this is, if we chip our clothing, then we can provide opportunities for customers who buy or wear our physical clothing to extend the life of those clothes into gaming. So we can really look at moving both ways, both into gaming and out of gaming. And I think this provides so many exciting possibilities for designers from the sustainability point of view and also the engagement point of view.
But another question that I had will probably be around any sort of, loyalty programs or strategies.
In gaming?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So building on these ideas, I think NFC chips are great ways of connecting our physical clothes to the digital world, how we can offer new assets for game people who are playing games from our clothes. So it doesn't have to be just extending the life of the physical item. We can offer new games, we can offer experiences. I mean, the sky is really the limit. The only limitation is our imagination at this point for what we want to do, how we want to build loyalty with creating games and experiences. We can also show our audience sort of what our values are. We can build new worlds around our collections as well. I think we saw an example of this with Gucci Garden, where you can really take people through a journey or allow them to go on their own journey, where you can really share what your brand values are and educate your audience. Although that doesn't sound super exciting, but you can share your ideas and share your values with them and empower them as well with this knowledge and understanding.
Become a part of the fastest growing world-class podcast of all time, Sci-Tech Swiss. With over 100,000 monthly views, Sci-Tech Swiss is making waves in the world of podcasting. Karina, over to you.
Become a sponsor for the next episode or we produce one for you in our professional studio. Find us on premierswissmedia.com. I love that, absolutely. I think that we are all on this learning journey. But, in terms of challenges, what do you think that are the kind of challenges that you encountered, maybe, in merging fashion and technology?
Digital Fashion Week is just purely the event. So wherever you have technology, you have technological challenges and you have technology hiccups, and those are going to vary every time. I talk to a lot of brands, both independent designers and really large brands, and I think one challenge at the moment is there is so much, and that's only going to increase. I think sometimes knowing where to start, how to dip your first toe in the water can be a huge challenge. I think also really because everything is moving so fast, knowing where to get on the train as well, and really understanding what does it mean to your brand. as I said, we look at the digitalization of fashion, every touch point from concept to consumer. But every brand is going to have a different need. They're going to require different solutions effectively to how they achieve their brand vision. So I think a wealth of information that it's really hard to cut out the noise and find exactly what you're looking for can be one challenge. And then I think as well, sometimes you can see you need a lot of different solutions and how to really connect all of those and bring them together.
I love that, definitely. I think that there are different kind of challenges because there are also, different brands coming up, with new collections. But, in terms of brands, what are some of your favorite looks from this year, maybe? That's also one of my curiosities.
Oh, wow. So I love the variety that we have on our runway. I'm assuming you're asking about our runway.
Exactly, yeah, because I saw
Right.
Exactly.
So we had events in New York, in Paris, and in Milan, and they're all entirely different. So I love the hologram show that we had in New York that Future Front Row created for us, working with 3 designers. So Susa Boss and Harriet Davey as one team, Mutiny and Martina Pons as another team, and Steffi Fung. And these 3 designers themselves have very, very different visions, but they all have incredible skills and skills with technology as well. And going back to what you said about yourself, you're always learning something new. I think these designers will really tell you that every day is a new day and they're constantly learning new technologies. But all the designers, it's from streetwear to very imaginative, creative, stage-ready designers. In Paris, we had Kaimin on the runway. She's a designer based in New York, and she dresses celebrities for the stage. So really a wonderful, wonderful variety, and coming from all different corners of the earth too.
What is fashion for you? It's like a kind of art. It's like a kind of, when you see a painting, for example.
That is a great question. What does fashion mean for each of us? So for me, it is about self-expression. I love the art of getting dressed, the art of selecting and creating you every day, or for special occasions, more often. And I think as we have digital versions of ourselves as well, how we create that and express ourselves in different ways. I think it's just such an exciting opportunity to see yourself as a canvas that you can share what you want to share with other people. So yeah, it's and it's definitely an art form in terms of creativity, how the designers are working.
I like to play with colors. I like to wear something different every day. And also when it comes to, creating your digital identity, because a lot of companies that I've been interviewing are Metaverse companies, they told me that they're exciting to see this kind of user experience where you can create, your whole world, basically. You can be whoever you want. So is it also this kind of feeling where you're like a superhero and you create new experiences with fashion?
Oh, absolutely. And you can wear things in the metaverse that you cannot possibly wear IRL. So, for example, the obvious gravity-defying fashions that you can wear, fashions that have designs that move and change shape, that have, say, water flowing on them. There is one designer that creates designs based on the human nervous system, and they turn that into clothing as well. So something that holds its shape, that we really, I guess you could replicate something, but you can create much more magical fashion in the metaverse. But also things that beyond being gravity defying or physically impossible, you can wear things that just would not suit you and your body type in the real world. You can wear completely different clothes and reimagine your body type, because avatars are,
I love that. Yeah, you don't have
they're
to
a lot
be.
more rigid, whereas human bodies are soft moving shape. So it really gives you the opportunity to play with your style and your self-expression in whole new ways.
I love that. And it also builds up this confidence, because I think that a lot of people are dealing with that nowadays. So also from a, psychological point of view, I think that people will probably, feel more free to express themselves, but at the same time, they don't have to worry about what they're going to wear, about, the shape of their body. So definitely, I think that we are sending a strong message here. And in terms of the upcoming events that you're organizing this year, you're also going to London, as far as you told me the last time, right?
Well, so we're going back to the UK. We didn't have an event in London for February. There's only so many we can do each season. But we're hoping to actually have an event outside of London, potentially in Manchester, which is really a seat of culture in the UK. So I'm really excited to look at how we can fuse different art forms as well during Digital Fashion Week, and really bring music and art into the event and the experience, and look at why we're wearing clothes. So moving from more passive watching experiences with fashion into more wearability and self-expression as well, and the reason why we're choosing to dress the way we dress.
I love that. And also, I'm really curious about any kind of cultural insights. If you guys find inspiration, any kind of into a specific culture. I know that when it comes to fashion, for example, I'm just thinking about Paris, I'm just thinking about New York, obviously, where you can find some of the greatest fashion shows.
Well, so each event we do curate it slightly differently for each city. For example, in February in Milan, we really geared everything very, very much towards the luxury industry. And as you walk the streets of Milan, you cannot escape the feeling of innovation and just exquisite luxury. Everybody who walks past you is wearing a beautifully constructed coat and carrying a beautifully constructed bag and wearing beautifully made shoes from exquisite fabric. So we really geared it very much towards the luxury industry. In Paris, we geared it towards a little more the gaming and the fashion designers. We have Sandbox as a partner, and we were looking at how we can dress in Sandbox as well, and sort of taking the vibe of the audience in each of these cities. However, having said that, we have designers who come from around the world. In Milan, we had designers from the UK, from Azerbaijan, and I think from Denmark, but I'm not entirely sure actually. So really pulling designers from very, very different places, and showcasing this cultural diversity on the runway.
I love that. Diversity and inclusion, definitely. And when it comes to your partnership with Sandbox, what inspired you to team up with them?
I mean, the first touch point that I had with Sandbox was we had Sebastian, who's the co-founder, and Belinda on our panel discussions in September, joining us and talking to them about next steps, what we wanted to do, event spaces, and they very generously invited us to hold our symposium in their beautiful offices in Paris, and talking to them more about their vision. And they really have an extraordinary vision for fashion, and looking at how we can step by step build the relationship in both a tangible, manageable, and realistic way, and bring more designers into the community. It is a creator community in Sandbox. How can we show designers how to have new revenue streams, new options, connect with new audiences, and as we said before, really try out collections in the metaverse before creating them in the physical space. So having these very real conversations with them, we just saw that there was so much synergy, and they really supported us on the runway at NFT Paris. They hosted us at their beautiful event space. So they've been a really, really generous, supportive partner. And I'm very much looking forward to next steps that we have for looking at how we can bring our community into this place where they can really connect, have extraordinary experiences, and look at opportunities for designers.
I love that. Definitely the Paris, Fashion Week was definitely one of the highlights of this year. And now in terms of technology shaping the future of the fashion industry, digital experiences and, e-commerce, where do you see this technology evolving and coming more into play?
Wow, so that is a huge question. I could tell you an answer today, and things are going to be very different in 1 month, in 6 months, and most definitely in a year. If we look back and we can see trends that have happened, really, if we look at 2021, everyone was talking about NFTs. 2022, everyone was talking about the metaverse. 2023, everyone's talking about AI. 2024, I think we're taking a deep breath. I see very much that people want to actually look behind the hype and look at what is the real value. What can technology do for us to move our brand vision forward, to allow better connections with the audience? I do see blockchain technology as hugely valuable to the fashion industry. I see proving authenticity as obviously so incredibly important to the luxury industry. I see all levels of designers, new ways to engage with the audience. Audiences want to be connected. They want to be both included and they want to feel exclusive. And technology allows us this opportunity to really build a relationship in new and exciting ways. How we're going to do that, I really think that's up to every different designer. I see, we've been playing with virtual try-on and these experiences, and we post ideas on social media of ourselves. I really like looking at how does that actually reflect back? How have we developed that technology to be useful to the industry and to the consumer? How does it help us have fewer returns? When we adapt that technology to e-commerce, I think augmented reality for trying on fashion, for experiencing fashion, I think these things help us have fewer returns, help us be more sure of an item before we add it to our cart. And all of these ideas affect inventory. We have a better idea of what our sales are, what our sales are going to be. We can have less waste at the end of the day and potentially move us closer to on-demand manufacturing, which is still relatively far away and sort of a dream for many people. But I do see this technology as being seen in more practical, realistic, valuable, functional ways.
Definitely, I love that. I love how technology blends with the fashion industry. I think that you will empower the fashion industry to creating new, interesting, emerging projects that people can actually relate more to. And in terms of other collaborations that we can still experience, maybe in the upcoming, let's say in the upcoming months or next year.
Oh, collaboration. So still very much in development. We're definitely going to be working with Sandbox. I'm looking, as I mentioned, at bringing in music and art and how we fuse, why we're wearing fashion as well. So trying to create the events as slightly different experiences. How do we involve an entire community? How can we potentially involve a city in the fashion and really put a lot of creativity in the hands of the consumer as well and make them a valuable part of everything that is happening?
I definitely love that. I think that fashion is a movement, fashion is art. So definitely when we choose to wear something, it's self-expression. And I like how the fashion industry is always changing.
Yes, absolutely. And I think you've touched upon something super interesting as well, is with technology, with augmented reality, how we're going to not only dress ourselves, but how we can dress other people. Where if we're wearing glasses with augmented reality, we can dress the world. We can add layers of experience to what other people are wearing. And yeah, our clothes are self-expression and ways to connect and ways to set ourselves apart as well through self-expression.
And also another question that I have for you, and probably it's going to be the last question. Do you think that everyone can be fashionable, with the things that they are wearing?
I see fashion as beyond a trend. I think everybody is fashionable according to that description because we all choose what we wear. We're all choosing to create a vision of ourselves that we want other people to see. So if we just wear, a black t-shirt and black jeans, we're making a statement. So I believe everybody is a fashionista in very, very different ways. Some people have more extraordinary layers of creativity, and some people have a very clear message that they want to share about themselves. But yes, our art is out there. How we choose to coat ourselves with it is individual, and we're all doing it already to some degree.
Well, that's so powerful. I like that, especially, mentioning the statement. I think that, fashion and art, they are a powerful statement about yourself, about, self-expression, about your personality. And yeah, I would love to see more looks, and definitely I'm really excited to see what this year will bring in terms of also in terms of, technology predictions.
Right. I'm super excited to see what new technologies will come to the surface and what the designers want to share and create with us. Absolutely.
Well, with that, Claire, thank you so much for your time. Your work is fantastic. It's great to see fashion industry blending so well with technology. We're really impressed.
Thank you so much for having me and sharing information with the world about fashion and technology.
Definitely, that's really fascinating.